Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Rebecca, and I'm your host. This is Crafting and Crime Daily, and I am currently covering the state of Florida versus Susan Lorincz. This is the woman was 59 years old, elderly white woman, living in what one witness wanted to call a step up from the hood, living there by her choice, renting in a quadruplex. She was having issues with the kids that were playing in her yard, get off my lawn, that type of thing. She is alleged to have committed manslaughter by shooting through a closed door an unarmed woman, 24-year-old Ejika Owens, who left behind 4 young children. So, day 2, afternoon, what occurred during the testimony? Hi, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I'm so glad to have you. If you've been with my channel for years, I am equally glad that you're still here. So, welcome. So yesterday, I told you the jury was shown the first interview of Susan Lorincz. This was done the night of the shooting. Now they go back several days later and they ask her to come down the station again, and she does. And they said, we just want to clarify some things. So this video was also shown to the jury. And I'm not going to show you any clips of it because it's not that riveting, to be honest with you. And at one point, the officer says to her, just things are just not adding up. Why did you feel like it was necessary to, you knew the police were on the way, and she's behind a closed door with an extended deadlock. So this was not just any old deadbolt. It was like, he called it a long deadbolt. And apparently she did not have the chain on the door, but there was a chain she could have used. In any case, she didn't want to get close enough to the door to put the chain on. But where was I going with all this? Oh, and he says, why did you feel it necessary to shoot? She wasn't coming through the door. Well, the door was broken. Okay, so this officer, after the interview's over, the following day, he goes and gets the door. He takes the door, and the door had evidence that it had been spackled over. Someone had painted the door for reasons we're going to get to, and spackled over the hole, which is really not sufficient to hide the hole. I mean, you can see that there's a bullet hole there. Not someplace I would want to move into. No, just saying. And so this door's hauled out in the courtroom in front of the jury to see. Now, I would have been, can I go over maybe when I'm deliberating, I want to feel how heavy this door is. Because if it's like my cheap ass doors, that ain't going to hold anybody back. Nobody. They're like hollow doors. So I don't know what she had there. Who knows? But in any case, he says, one of the comments she made was, I did what I had to do. I did what I had to do. So he says, you've used this term reasonable and prudent. Where are you getting, these are kind of legal terms. These are legal terms that we use, lawyers use. Where are you getting these terms? I watch a lot of true crime. And she researched self-defense after the shooting, but it came out that before the shooting, she was familiar with stand your ground and had researched stand your ground. Now, this is a concept kind of unique to Florida that says if you're in a place where you're supposed to be, you have no duty to retreat. And if you feel like your life is in imminent danger, you can use deadly force. So she had looked this up and apparently picked up a vocabulary along the way. Then he says, you don't seem very remorseful. She didn't. She did not. And she says, well, it's sad. I feel horrible. But what am I going to do? I can't go back in time and change things. This is what she says. She says, I can't change the way I felt that night. So he said, he and the other officer that were in the room interviewing her say, you know, okay, we're kind of done here, but we're gonna go outside and have a little discussion. Then we'll come back. While we're out, I'm gonna give you a notepad and a pen, and you know, she left behind some loved ones. Don't you have something you want to say to them? You know, we're gonna leave this here, and you can write whatever you want to them. And then they come back in, and apparently she had written something, and she's like really upset. I can't, you know. Anyway, but she did write something, and here is what she wrote.
In the video, in the interview that we just watched, you mentioning looking at some video. None of the video you looked at had any footage of the shooting or what happened right before the shooting, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Also, in the video towards the end, the interview, towards the end, we saw you give the defendant an opportunity to write something down on paper.
Yes, sir.
Did she do that?
Yes, she did.
Do you remember what she wrote?
No, I wouldn't want to quote without a copy of it. I'm not sure.
Show you a copy of the letter. You let the jury know what she wrote?
I'm so sorry for your loss. I never meant to kill your mother. I was terrified your mom was going to kill me. I shot out of fear.
I want to direct your attention to June 19th, 2023.
Interesting. So then the next person on the stand was, hold on. Oh, they wanted to ask, before the next person gets on the stand, they wanted to ask this detective that was on the stand. That's how they got this interview into evidence. They wanted him to talk about the door in front of the jury. So the condition of the door. So they send the jury out, and there's what they call the judge eventually said, no, they're not going to talk about the condition of the door. He says, first of all, because that all of this stuff that happened to the door happened after the murder. So apparently after this murder, someone in her neighborhood, the one step up from the hood neighborhood, damaged the door. Apparently she had broken windows at her house. And they had spray painted the front door, but he was not allowed to talk about that in front of the jury. So the jury does not know that because it's not really relevant. You know, that doesn't go to her believing this. She had to defend herself. That happened after the fact. So then we get a digital forensics expert that works for the sheriff's department. He was responsible for extracting the cell phone of Susan Lorincz. And in addition to that, he talked about, apparently she didn't have a Ring camera. She had what they call a Blink camera. It's same thing. And they were trying to figure out why, because he said he extracted all the videos from that off her phone as well. And he was asked, were any of those videos at night? And he said no. And well, can you think of any reason why that might be? And he said, because the camera was mounted behind the glass and it works through infrared, and the infrared was reflecting off the glass back to the camera. So essentially the camera was blind at night. So none of this picked up at night. But he was able to extract off the cell phone 7 videos taken by the defendant, and a whole series of videos, but they're very short. So stick with it. I'm going to show you those videos, and you can hear hopefully you can hear. I'm telling you, they have not fixed the volume on this thing. If you can't, it's no big deal. Just watch the videos. But what you're going to see is these kids are out there playing, and they're having they're playing like this organized game. The neighbor had testified that he had divided them up into teams and they were playing the game, and he was coaching them. And he's like, come on, get back in line. And they're all focused on her. They're like, she's filming us. You can't film us. And she really shouldn't have been doing that. I don't know why she was doing it. They were not on her property. They were actually playing on the other side of that field that was not her property. I didn't hear them say anything untoward towards her. I didn't hear them using any profanities. I didn't hear any threats being made on any of these videos. But there's 11 videos.
I want to go through those 11 videos that you extracted from the phone.
Okay.
Did you locate a video on June 2nd, 2023 at 7:21:14 p.m.?
We did. That's the first video.
And are many of these videos very, very short?
That is correct.
Okay. So this first video, according to the report you have, occurred at 7:21:14 p.m.
That is correct.
Based on your extracted data from the phone, what time was the first 911 call made on her phone on that day?
Going to that page of the report, the first 911 call was at approximately 8:54:09 p.m. on
How do
16.
you know that these videos were taken directly from her cell phone?
So again, going back to the specific file path we were talking about, they actually show that they were from the actual phone itself. And there is metadata within the report to show that it was from a specific make and model of the phone to which it lives.
Showing you a photo that you found from at 7:30:12 p.m. Was there a photo at 7:30:36 p.m. as well?
There is videos.
Is there a photo or a video at 7:58:59 p.m.?
There is.
Did you locate a photo at 8:33:34 p.m.?
We did.
Did you locate a video at 8:33:59 p.m.?
We did.
What about a photo at 8:34:57 p.m.? A video, excuse me.
We did.
8:49 and 49 seconds PM.
We did.
Was that video only like a second long?
I believe so.
Was there another video 2 seconds later, 8:49 and 51 seconds?
That is correct.
Now, this video was at 8:59 and 51 seconds. Is that about 5 minutes before the first 911 call was made?
That is correct.
Did you locate a video at 8:50 and 37 seconds PM?
We did.
And finally, did you locate a video at 8:53 and 32 seconds PM?
We did.
Is that last video about 30 seconds before the first 911 call was made?
It appears so. Yes, sir.
You mentioned that you also extracted the data regarding the 2 911 calls made by the defendant's phone on the evening of June 2nd, 2023, right?
That is correct.
What do we see on this page of the report?
This is specifically those 2 911 calls, their timestamps and durations.
And does it also, does the report, the extraction data from her phone show the time that?
So 30 seconds after the last video is when she makes the first 911 call saying that that all the kids they were out there playing, they're all gone now, but 3 of them are still out there. That doesn't jive with me. I think one of the last videos showed a roller skate on the sidewalk. I didn't see a video of like 3 boys on her patio giving her a hard time. I didn't see that. And you can tell she's like, filming through the blinds and doing stuff like that. So then he talks about the 911 call. So the first 911 call comes in at 8:54 and 9 seconds. And it lasts for 4 minutes and 55 seconds. And this is where she's telling how she's upset with these kids. And, she's calm, but she's telling them that she's telling the dispatcher that they're trespassing. So she's sending a vehicle out because they're trespassing. The second call comes in at, I didn't get what time it came in, but it ends at 9:01. It came in at 9:01. 2 minutes and 30 seconds after the first phone call. So within that 2 minutes and 30 seconds, she goes to the bathroom, washes her hands, because she testified to that through the interview, hears the banging on the door, apparently goes and gets the gun, comes back in the kitchen because she's looking for her cell phone. And while she's in the kitchen looking for her cell phone, she fires. 2.5 minutes. And after that, the state rested their case. That was it. Boop, boop. All done. So the judge asked the jury to step out. The defense argued their motion for judgment of acquittal, saying that the state whenever you claim self-defense, the state has to rebut the self-defense by putting in evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that she was not in any imminent danger. And the judge said, I think they have put that into evidence. She's behind a door, she's unarmed. This ridiculous big deadbolt on the door. The jury could infer that she was not in imminent danger. So he denied the judgment of acquittal. So the defense started their case. They only had 1 witness available for the rest of the day. So we do hear from this witness, Rosalie Smith, and her first question was asked, can you describe, she was asked where she lives, and she lives in this neighborhood. Can you describe that neighborhood? She says, well, objection, sidebar. They send the jury out. And then the judge asked her, how are you going to answer that question? 1 step up from the hood. And he's like, no. He was, I can't allow that answer. The hood, the connotation of that response is that this is racial, that this is a Black neighborhood. And I can't have that. She can describe the neighborhood any other way. She cannot use the word hood. So the defense said, well, can I lead her? And he says, yeah, you can. So when she comes back, the defense asks her, was this a lower income neighborhood? She's like, yeah. Okay. So then she testifies that she lived probably about a football field away from Susan Lorincz, but she was sitting outside on her patio and she could hear a lot of pounding. She said it was very loud. She could also hear yelling and screaming. She could tell it was a female voice, but couldn't make out what they were saying. And then she hears the gunshot and she calls 911. She did say that the female sounded very angry. And that was all that happened in the afternoon of day 2. So the judge sent the jury home early. I have listened to some of the testimony today. I do know that closing arguments will be tomorrow. The defense is putting on several witnesses today. I do not know if that includes the defendant. I have no idea. So I will cover all that for you tomorrow. And then we'll wait for the verdict. So have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.